Why don't I do home shows? It makes you feel like a carny, a gypsy. You're always on the road. No disrespect, carnies or gypsies, but man, you guys work hard and setting up and tearing down like a roadie. Constantly setting up and tearing down. And then if you, heaven help you if you sell anything, it's even worse. If you sell something, now you got to go deliver it. 10-foot, 12-foot, 8-foot table, you brought it with you and you got to deliver it before you come home. You're 100 miles away, 200 miles away. You can't come back and then go make that delivery. So logistics. At the time, I used the bee truck because I had a beekeeping truck and a forklift. I would load the bee truck with 12 tables and bases in bins, those plastic bins that I got strapped down. And that's all we were taking in those days was tables. Then we did shows where we would go set up and everything and just bring everything straight back home. And you had to prep all those tables every day and do all that work every day, because every day you got to put the lipstick on those things because they look best for just a few hours after you put the finish on, and then you've got to either wax them or put some pledge on them. And I don't do either one of those. I like to keep my finish so that I can just resand it and finish it again if I have to. Because when I build tables, they sit on my cart for 10 days to 10 years. Last show I went to, I brought a bunch of stuff, and I make all kinds of stuff now. And I ended up just selling one small table to somebody I had been working on for as a customer. An existing customer saw me down there and took advantage of the discount prices at the show.
Are you profitable with home shows? Was it just
No. Well, we thought we were. There was about 3 in a row where we had 28,000 and 28,000 and 28,000. That would seem like a magic number. I would come home and beat my brains out to try to make enough inventory to keep going because I'm a one-man shop and these things are hard on an old guy making big tables. And we thought we were successful there. We even celebrated it with champagne once or twice. And then the sales turned off. This economy that drives my work is iffy. You have to be prepared to not make any sales for 2 or 3 months. But it turns on a dime. You sell one table and you've made your money for the month. Counting Social Security. We don't take much money to live on. Everything we got's paid for. So I would discount it just to make a sale. I can mark it down to nothing if I have the inclination. For the right person, I would. If they strike me as the Wizard of Oz, they'll get a table for free. But that's pretty rare. You have booth fees and hotel fees and all that. I remember one time we went to a Tulare home show, and we got a 10 by 10. That's all we were allowed, is a 10 by 10. Okay, I brought a 12-foot table. I was screwed. My table hung over 2 feet into the guy's booth in the back behind me, and they allowed me to do that. I asked them if I could because they were selling jewelry up at the front, and we made a pact. Yes, you can. So I had 2 tables. I had an 8-foot and that 12-foot table in there. Just barely room to turn around in that booth. And the booth Nazi came by. A little guy, with the appropriate syndrome of Napoleonic complex came by and started giving me rat's ass about my booth usage. And I told him I had permission from the guy behind me to extend into that, and we had a drape between us. It just draped over 2 feet of my table, and he was okay with it. Well, he just, you can get into personal conflicts in any business, but when it's the game player's son or something that you're in conflict with, you almost have no relief from that. Fortunately, it was a one-day event, and I definitely would not go back. I didn't sell anything, and it cost money to get in each one of those things. We figured it was a $5,000 gig every time we went anywhere because of hotels and expense of loading and all that.
Table.
Yeah, we used to have to sell one in order to break even, and then we feel screwed. You know, because you gave that away to go sit and be away from your dogs and away from your. My daughter lives right next door. My grandkids come over and pass the time with me a lot, and that's hard to give up for any price. But just to break even, that's going backwards. You start profiling people. Oh, that guy's never going to buy. That guy, nope, forget about him. No, not that guy. Oh, there's a live one. You know, you size up people by whether you want to give out the energy to represent the piece. You know, there's a certain amount of energy you have at each show, and once that's used up, you look like a doorknob out there. It's kind of a glass half empty when I start if I go to one of those now. So I'm not inclined to show the product as much. Mostly I watch people's eyes and wait with bated breath for a question. But other than that, it's a bunch of hellos, how are you? And that's it. Oh, do you make these? Yes. Is that turquoise? Yes. Beautiful, thank you. That's it. That's 99% of the people that walk by.
If you like the videos, please subscribe. It helps me do more videos and bring more content to more users. Thank you.
That was my early days, and that was teaching me a lot about who my actual customer is. And they're a lot more wealthy than I am, most of them. I live in a house that I bought for $40,000, and now it's worth $540,000. Everybody's is if you have a house for 30 years. It's weird. We made friends with a lot of people when we were there. You know, you're standing next to them for 3 days, and when there's nobody walking by on those days when you're there early until a given time, you have to man your booth the whole time. There's plenty of time when their customers are just, you're waiting. You're just looking at the person across from you in the booth, twiddling your thumbs. And we kept it lively. Let's just leave it at that.